It has been 3 years since the release of the last SRAM 12-speed access group set. And in the cycling world, 3 years is a very long time. Usually, if it's a bicycle, they'll either revamp it or remake it completely. Same thing goes for components, except if you're Shimano. But for SRAM, it's been out for a while, and people are expecting a change pretty soon. And these photos I have here, which I was kind of waiting to speculate on these photos, but there's been more and more proof showing that this group set should get a refresh or a new face to it. And also brings up the point, what else would you guys want from this group set? Similar to SRAM's, they already have released pictures of their SL mountain bike group set where they basically just took their 12-speed stuff that everyone loves and just made it lighter and more efficient. Where do we go from here? Are we going to go to a 13-speed? I don't think so. Are we going to go to a 14-speed? I don't think so. I think they're going to take the product that they already have, their 12-speed stuff, and go ahead and maybe tweak it to make it lighter, maybe make it faster shifting, maybe make the hoods more ergonomic. They've had this product out for a very long time. They got a bunch of feedback. Maybe fix the front derailleur, but they got a bunch of feedback. So maybe they're just going to take their product that they already have and make it better. Because in my personal opinion, I don't see people wanting a 2x13 group set on their bikes. Maybe they make it a full 1x group set, maybe a 1x13 with this gear capability. Who knows? But there are tons of pictures that I'm speculating that this is the new stuff. And I've mentioned this before. I think there's going to be changes to the hoods completely for the SRAM Red and SRAM Force. There should be no reason why SRAM already had a SRAM Red and SRAM Force group set out with these big, bulky shifters that people do like, but then they take their rival, this new release rival 12-speed access group set, and they release it with a completely changed hood ergonomics. It's like, why do you change it if you already have your map paved out? Like Shimano Falls, Durace, Ultegra, and 105, they're all the same hood shape, all the same ergonomics. Why do you take the rival group set, release it last, and change the hood ergonomics? It doesn't make any sense to me, unless they're going to follow that in the change coming forward. And there's a bunch of pictures here speculating that. So I want to take you guys back real quick to the post that started all. One of you guys sent me this picture. It's on my Instagram. It's actually on Classified. I actually did a video on Classified Hub. This hub right here is a hub that goes in the rear of your bike and acts as a front derailleur. But that's beside the point. If we look at this picture closely, we can see here. You know what? Do some of this right here. Bam, chicka bam, chicka bam, chicka bam, chicka bam, chicka bam, chicka bam. There you go, something like that. We see here what looks to be, it says SRAM Red right here. This is SRAM Red carbon blade, but with a SRAM rival shifter hood. Now this right here is part of the Classified hub shifter. This acts as your front derailleur, which is completely fine. It looks cool. I actually kind of like this, but this is where he put this at. This is completely different from this. But it is a rival hood shifter with a SRAM Red blade. Now, I was going to make a video on this when I saw this. This post came out back in May of 2022. And someone sent me this and said, hey, this looks like SRAM Red new stuff. It's from a rider, I believe his name is Steph4880 right here. And someone even said, hey, is this the new stuff? And he basically said, no, I just asked for someone I had my shifter blade swapped out on this lever. So I was like, okay, kind of a lot of work to go through that, but maybe he just prefers the ergonomics and that's what he wanted to. But since then, I can't find the comment for it anymore. So it's kind of weird to me. Also, another thing that's kind of weird to me again, if we keep on going, right here. By what means do you need to paint your brake calipers gold if you're not trying to hide something? Again, this could just be that they painted gold for some reason, but why would you paint the brake calipers gold? It doesn't look anything different either. It looks exactly like the SRAM Red brake calipers that they usually are. You have the bleed port up here. You have your brake pin. You have your direct mount bolts. Nothing changed to it. But why paint it gold? There's no need for that. So when I saw this picture, I tried to zoom in on the rear derailleur to see if there's anything different. Maybe they're just testing this. But that was always my speculation, is that they're changing the SRAM Red and SRAM Force completely. Let's see, view actual size. I don't see anything different with the SRAM Red. But again, I don't see them doing a major facelift with this stuff. I don't see them changing the whole group set itself. I don't see them changing everything. I see them making revisions to it. I see them making maybe this shifting speeds faster. Maybe they make a software you can make it faster. Maybe they make a new front derailleur. Maybe SRAM Red has heard. Maybe SRAM themselves have heard so much bad things about their front derailleur, they make a 1x13 but they keep their whole system right here. So this was the first post that kind of got me going. I was like, it is what it is. Maybe he did just swap out the blade. We can even see right here, it looks completely different if we can zoom in on this. But there's more pictures, which I'm going to show you guys in a second. Bro, what the hell are these pictures? You can see, it looks different. SRAM red shifter, SRAM red carbon blade lever with a SRAM rival paddle. Okay? And then you have just a SRAM rival hood ergonomics. So, a lot of work, but if it's a pro rider, it's not a big deal for a mechanic, but usually someone has to go out of their way to do that. So, I didn't let it, I just figured, hey, it could be true. Recently, another viewer of the channel sent me these pictures, or it's actually sent me this page. Petra, very sorry, I don't want to butcher your name. Petra Hujman's photograph. I believe that they take pictures of cycling, of good pictures. So when we dive deep into this, we have pictures of this lady right here from the CX World Cup cycling. As we can see, she's running the same situation here. And in previous pictures that this photographer took of this same exact rider, in January, she was running a normal SRAM red shifter. Now, these are top peak performers. They're running, they're sponsored, they have Trek logos everywhere. You would think they want them to be on a SRAM red shifter. Maybe, the only thing I thought was maybe because it's a female, she had smaller hands, she maybe wanted to have a better ergonomic for the shifter. But again, you have a custom team SRAM lever on here, you have a SRAM rival shifter blade, and you also have a SRAM rival hood on here. So, a lot of work, but again, if you're a pro rider, it's not that big of a deal. I was like, it can't just be that only one, but you can definitely see there's a lot of work right here, okay? So, we move on. And again, this makes sense if you think about it. I don't think they're going to change the whole thing because they have a 12-speed system out. I mean, you're literally, the Shimano Dura-Ace just released a 12-speed system to compete with SRAM Red that's been out for 3 years. I don't see them making a different system. Then we go to this picture. Same picture, same everything, SRAM rival hoods. I got another picture as well of a guy riding it, okay? A male figure. Same here. SRAM team levers. Again, this could, I tried to get pictures of the side of the bike. They didn't show any of maybe if it's a different derailleur or something like that, but I couldn't see anything to cross-examine them. But I have, this picture was pretty damning. Not that picture. This guy right here. Another Trek rider. Excuse me, if you will. Excuse me. Another Trek rider running the same exact thing. Looks to be a SRAM rival hood shifter with a SRAM red shifter blade, carbon fiber. Again, you would think that they want their top tier riders run their top tier stuff. I think that this is going to be the new thing. Now, the reason why I think that is because SRAM rival shifters, they were small ergonomics. They were kind of in competes with the Dura-Ace. The only thing with the rivals is that you didn't have the compatibility with the blips on there. And I think this was SRAM's end goal, is because before you used to have these plugins to make them with the Di2 sprint shifters or climbing shifters, and then you made these SRAM rivals that didn't have these plugins. But then SRAM also just released this, SRAM wireless satellite shifter. This is a lot of work we're doing here. Which this is a wireless connection to sprint shifters or climbing shifters, whatever you want. So not only are you making that plug-in port on the SRAM Red and SRAM Force not needed anymore, you're also taking away weight from that shifter to make it more competitive towards SRAM or Shimano Dura-Ace and Shimano Ultegra as well. So I think this was a move that they've really seized. They released a SRAM rival that compare now with the SRAM rival and everything like that, and maybe we're going to see this go on. So let me know what you guys think down below. I was debating whether or not to make this video. Hopefully you guys enjoy it, but I do think that if they do release a new SRAM Red or SRAM Force coming up in the near time future, I think it will be the SRAM rival hood ergonomics, which I didn't mind. I think there's a nice ergonomics. I know a lot of people didn't like the flap of the rear hood overlap on the bars, but I hope SRAM tries to take back the king of weight weenies, because back in the day, SRAM Red 10-speed red was the lightest group set out, the fastest shifting out. Everyone was riding the back of the tour. Everyone wanted to be on them. The Dura-Ace was known to be a little bit heavier. Now SRAM Red is heavier. It looks bulkier, clunkier. We need to make this thing look ergonomic. We need to make it look sleek. We need to give it an edge up on Shimano to be competitive again. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video, and I'll see you guys next one.